Hi, I'm Chancellor from Be Your Purpose Coaching. Today I get the pleasure of talking to one of my NLP students, Amy, from Authentically You. Amy is incredible at what she does. She combines her Reiki knowledge with her NLP experience to help her clients have that mind body soul connection to clear away the limitations, clear away the blocks and the things that are keeping them stuck, resolve their anxieties so that they can come back to their authentic self and feel like that confident, intuitive being out in this world. It's a real pleasure hearing how Amy facilitates her Reiki sessions and all of the magic and the interesting things that she brings to her sessions. You can tell from Amy's passion that she's absolutely fully invested in helping her clients be the best versions of themselves. It's like, wow, how can this get any better? So Amy even graciously gave us 5 minutes of remote Reiki healing at the end of this talk. So stick around, listen to the whole thing, check out Amy on Instagram on Authentically You. But before you go to Instagram, check out this conversation. I can't wait. Let's get started. Okay. I want to say a really big welcome to you, Amy, and I'm really excited about talking to you about all things Reiki, all things coaching, all things NLP, and mostly how to be the authentic you, right?
Yeah, I love that. Good one. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. Equally nervous too.
Oh, well, this is just that inviting conversation. Hopefully, all of our listeners feel like they're welcomed and part of this conversation. But to dive straight in the deep end, Amy, I really want to hear your perspective on what is Reiki, because when I've seen you on Instagram, you're doing all of your Reiki healings, working with groups, working one-on-one, and I'm like, what is she doing? I want to know about Reiki through Amy's style. So let's start at the beginning before I get ahead of myself, Amy. In your opinion, what is Reiki?
Reiki, in my opinion, it's basically a modality that allows me to connect into a person or person's energy, and I'm able to clear any blockages that they may be holding on to. It is a Japanese energy technique, and it allows you to rebalance your nervous system. It gets as deep as your cellular function, which is so, so cool. And it just really allows you to feel lighter after every session. And the main thing that Reiki allows you to do and actually gives you the opportunity is to connect back to yourself again. So once those blockages are gone, you start to feel more like you, which is really cool, being able to facilitate that for people.
So it sounds like you know exactly what you're talking about with the cellular memory, all of that energy shifting. It sounds like Reiki itself has made a big impression on you. Like I'm curious, Amy, how did you discover Reiki, or like what impressed you about Reiki? Like what drew you in into that incredible energy world?
Yeah, well, it was actually an Instagram ad, which was quite random if you think about it now. But I was having a really tough time with my own physical health and mental health, and I just knew that there had to be something more. I couldn't keep going on this cycle of seeing doctors and specialists and then feeling good for maybe a week or two and then back to square one, but nothing had changed. Like I hadn't done anything different. And I saw this ad on Instagram. I was like, look, I actually have nothing to lose. Like, what else? Like, what's the worst that can happen, really? And I'm so happy that I allowed myself to be vulnerable and go to another person, because that's what it felt like. I was going to so many different people that I just thought I can't let one more person touch me, or I can't tell my story to one more person. And I'm so glad that I did. So after that first session, I felt instantly lighter. And of course, like I wasn't fixed or back to myself after 1 hour, but I felt almost like a kind of like, what's the pip in my step again, or whatever that is. Like, you kind of walk out and your shoulders are down and you just feel a little bit lighter. And I just knew, okay, I need to continue to explore this deeper.
Yeah.
And I did. And I started to see my Reiki lady for a few months, and then she sort of was like, hey, I think this is something that you should explore deeper so you can start to basically do it on yourself. And that's that's how it started for me to learn Reiki, was to and be able to self-heal. And then it just expanded.
Wow. So like, like the synchronicity in the fact that that one Instagram post came up, you were there saying like, what have I got to lose? And it was just like this divine synchronization, just bringing in the opportunity for you to experience Reiki, right? So it sounds like you've gone from all of this heavy duty kind of therapy, medical doctors, and just this almost like that invasion of your privacy of having to be so vulnerable, so vulnerable, so vulnerable. It can wear you down. And it sounds like when you
Mm.
met your Reiki lady, how gorgeous is that? You're my Reiki lady. Um, sounds like the Reiki energy actually brought in that nest of support for you to actually just surrender rather than almost be in that fight for your health.
Yeah, definitely. And she explained to me so clearly and easily that the reason why I kept kind of going back to square one after I would see my osteo or chiropractor or specialist was because I actually had that blocked energy inside my body. So when I got manipulated, I would crack back into place, but then within that week, the energy would push me out again. And I had no idea why. I just knew that I had to keep going back to see the same person again. And then when
Yeah.
I started to allow the energy healing to do its magic, the adjustments that I received from my chiropractor actually lasted for months because the energy no longer was pushing it out. And that was a massive relief because it's not comfortable to have to, be adjusted every single week or
Yeah.
be massaged and things like deep massage. So it really changed my outlook on energy healing and holistic healing and how powerful it truly is. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Wow. Because and we're going to go into talking about NLP, but it sounds like even if we backtrack a little bit, and I don't want to go too much into your privacy there, Amy, but we're all on that journey where, life can be so heavy, life can be so hard. We take on these limiting beliefs that, like it's, I don't know, thinking about like even the back represents that support. And so if there's that difficulty with the spine being cracked, and I've been there at the chiropractor weekly, it's like there's an energy block. I'm not feeling safe in this world, or I'm feeling like it's hard to ask for help or whatever it is. And it sounds like with Reiki and NLP, when you actually go back to clear the limiting belief, clear the limiting block, as you're saying there, on why are you not allowing, like why are you not allowing the support in? What is um the benefit of rejecting support? All of that that's all energy, right? So then when you actually address the limiting belief, then you can actually be safe to receive the chiropractic adjustment. You can, as you're saying there, shoulders all relaxed, head held high, walking through this world. And I imagine then walking with confidence. It's like that combination of Reiki, working with the Reiki energy, working with the belief work, and then letting the healthcare providers do their thing. Like it's just this beautiful union of work, right?
Yeah, so true. I think the best explanation for me was like I just felt like I had agency over myself again, my own story again. Because I got into that victim mentality and it's really easy to do, when all things are not turning out how you planned or thought they should, and then you have this really debilitating injury that you can't lift your daughter and do the things that you truly thought you were going to do as a first time mom, and then add COVID in on that and the isolation and all of these things. I'm you just don't know that it's actually energy that's causing you to make that injury worse or not allowing it to get better. And then when you are given the opportunity to open your eyes and actually see that there is another way, there is another path, I'm it's like it really is life changing. It sounds so cliche, but that's the only way that I can really describe it. And I think that's where my passion comes from. Like I want my work to be accessible to everyone because I think until you know that it is your own blocked energy and your own thoughts that are causing the issue to stay or prolong, you're just going to continue to do it, right? So it's about getting the word out there and allowing people to know that it is okay and that you can surrender and find help that truly works. You don't have to continue on that sort of hamster wheel of seeing the same people and feeling the same week in and week out.
Yeah. Well, let me pivot for a second there, Amy. When you're talking about the block of energy, I don't know, it's a loaded question, right? But I'm really curious about when you facilitate Reiki, what's going on for you? But I've got 101 questions, but it's sort of like, okay, what are you doing to that block? Like, what is going on there? Do you want to
Yeah,
share a
good
little bit
question.
about like how you as a facilitator, like what is happening with Reiki?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and before any session, my client answers like a questionnaire, so I can basically get to know them better and start to plan my sessions before it even starts. So basically, when you come to the session and you log in, you know that you're going to get the whole session on just you, not 10-15 minutes chatting about what you want to work through. And then I start to pull in your spirit team and talk to your guides and connect to your energetic field and pull a tarot card and just see what the energy is like currently around you. And that generally gives me an indicator of what I need to really focus on without even speaking to you yet. And then when we start the healing, I do a whole body healing to start with, and then we really focus on the main energy centers and see that they're in balance, because once they're in balance, you can.
Oh, wait. So
Sorry, too fast.
no, I know, and I'm loving it, but I just like, hold on, I want to catch up with this. So, like you were saying there with your own experience, when you got that intuitive pull, when you saw that Instagram post and you intuitively like said yes, you then made the appointment, right? And it's like clients working with you, they'll make the appointment, but in that moment is actually when that healing energy starts to come in. And it's not just from their guides and from that universal source of healing. It's also like that investment from you of like, oh, cool, okay, I'm going to investigate, going to make a plan. Like all of the healing actually starts even before the session. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And well, that's definitely how I do it anyway. Yeah, because I want to make sure that I'm able to give you the best healing experience and hold the space for you the best way that I can before we start. So it flows really naturally and beautifully. And yeah, chatting to your guides and things like that, they give me the answers before I even ask for them. So it's really cool.
When I'm working with a client, like, yeah, the guides come in and the team, I call them, but they give you the to-do list, right? It's like, she's not paying attention. She needs to know this, or the block's here. And it's sort of like, cool, let's.
Yep. I get like, visuals, or I'll see and like I'll get certain words that just won't go away. And for
Yeah.
example, like just do it, or um check here, or speak up, or whatever it may be. And then I know what energy centers are out of balance just from those words, basically. Yeah.
Oh, it's magical. And so imagine then there's a level of excitement, nervous excitement when somebody starts to, actually, the session has started and there's that nervous excitement, but like you're already holding the space, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's just about reminding them that it's okay if they feel tense, or thoughts come in, because I know myself, like when you try to relax, it's when all those thoughts start to appear even more. So I just really make sure that they know that it's okay to feel tense, and that the more that they just allow themselves to focus on their breath or focus on a thought that comes and let it pass. I just the analogy that I use is like a cloud in the sky, just like acknowledge it and let it pass by. And the way that, yeah, that sort of allows the client to know that it's okay that thoughts are there. They don't have to have an empty mind, because that is pretty much impossible, right? So yeah, it just gives us that space to really start to peel back the protection layers that they probably have up. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Explore the barriers. Okay, so then if the client's now in your company or remotely, they're like the Reiki is about to have to start. I know I interjected, but it was sort of like, so okay, cool. We're going to scan all of the energy centers. Is that where you start?
Yeah. So scanning all of the energy centers. So there's 7 main ones in your body, and just seeing where they're at and how they're, yeah, basically, are they overworked, underworked, are they in fight or fright mode, and how can I best help them to, yeah, become into balance again. And then I focus, yeah, on the main points of your body too. And if we want to bring in, calmness, then I will do generally will always do a visualization exercise to pull in the calmness into your body. Or if you're ready to get rid of that anxiety, we can do a process through NLP, like a timeline process, and then inject your body, with confidence or calmness or whatever that may be. So it kind of, the three modalities combine really effortlessly, and it's really cool how I started purely focusing on Reiki, and I've built my own sort of toolbox, and now I'm able to, yeah, give my clients everything basically, from mind, body, and soul, which is really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got 101 questions, as I said there. But what I'm really curious about is, especially for listeners who are like, what is going on? So take me through it like step by step. If you were going to talk to, or, for somebody who's like new to this, or like, what are you doing to my energy centers? Let's just say a client's coming to you, Amy, and they, as you're saying, like they've got that you've got the message from the spirit world that they're holding back something that they want to say. There's obviously something going on with the throat, and possibly they've even had ongoing sore throats, ongoing even neck problems there. So let's just say that they've come to you, you've already got that to-do list from the guides. What are you doing? Are you tuning
Oh
like
yeah.
all the things?
Yeah.
Like I want to know all the things.
Yeah, for sure. So I connect to the client's energetic field. Um and that, again, that probably isn't explaining it right. So basically energy is everywhere. So you can't see energy, but when you turn that light switch on, the light turns on. So that energy has started that bulb. So how I like to describe it to my clients is I connect into your energetic field. So I just have to sort of turn a switch on in my mind and allow myself to connect to them. And then that's
Yeah.
when the energetic flow starts to happen. It happens from my hands. So through my hands and onto the client's body. So even though my work is facilitated distantly, my clients still feel the heat, the tingles, the hot and cold, pins and needles, whooshes of water, or shadows, or
I,
whatever that may be, even though it is distantly. So it just goes to show how powerful the energy really is. And let's just say we're focusing on that throat energy center. So they might be not speaking their throat or holding things back, and then it's manifesting in anger or lack of confidence or whatever that may be. And it's starting to really clear that blocked energy in the throat. And generally, if you're holding back your throat energy chakra is probably in fright mode, so it's really allowing that energy to bring it into balance again. And then we start to focus on maybe pulling that lack of confidence out of the throat area or out of the neck and the shoulders. And that's a really beautiful experience. It's really empowering to know that you have got the agency and the power to pull that SHIT out of you. And then yeah, let's inject confidence or inject empowerment or whatever that may be through another visualization exercise. And yeah, I hope that does that explain.
yeah. Because I know
Yeah.
I don't facilitate Reiki as such anymore. I'm more in the one-on-one coaching with NLP, but the and quantum healing and things. But I know that in the good old days, because I sound so old, but what I would do is if I had the client's energy body in front of me, whether their body's there or I'm doing it remotely, but I would actually see their energy center is typically that blue color. And anytime I
Yes.
would see any sort of blackness, shadows, heaviness, there was this like my like hands become the receivers or like magnets to sort of like to pull out the black shadows. And then typically I would send it off to the violet light or call in Archangel Michael. But I would also be a bit curious about, and which is what you're doing, right, with timeline and other modalities, is like, okay, what caused you to take this on in the first place? What dropped your confidence? Because you were born with that pure vessel of speaking your truth, that agency of being yourself. And it's sort of like, okay, did you suppress your truth because you were bullied at school or intimidated? And so imagine there, Amy, I know I'm talking a lot, but once you remove that heaviness, the energy centers now open to receive all the yumminess, as you were saying. There's like, you're not being bullied at school anymore, so let's bring in that golden energy, that light, that confidence. Is that,
Yeah,
as my
100%.
throat's doing weird things there, like I'm like, woo, I'm right in on the energy.
Yeah, no, definitely. When I work on people's energy centers, I actually see like a balance, the old school balancing
Yeah, the
scales.
scale.
That's what
Yeah.
I see. So like, if it's out of balance, I'll see one really down. And generally, if it's the left-hand side that's down, you're in that fright mode. And if it's the right-hand side, you're overworked or,
Yeah.
overstimulated, overcompensating. And that's we all see, as practitioners, we all see it quite differently, but that's just how my team helped me to facilitate the healing. And it's really interesting because I find on my first healing with every client, I really focus on rebalancing your energy centers and your nervous system and allowing your energy to flow freely again and pulling out that crap that no longer, serves you. And then
Yeah.
more often than not, I check in with my clients a day or two later, and they'll always have some sort of download that came through to them, or
Yeah.
they've seen a sign, or they'll have a visual. And these aren't typically clients that may be spiritually inclined, but just that they've allowed themselves to be open and create that space for them, that they start to really receive what the universe is showing them. And then that's when I start to really delve deeper into, okay, cool. So you got a visual of you in your primary school playground, and you were sitting alone and you felt really uncomfortable. That's what we're going to start working on next week. And so
Yeah.
I really enjoy how I can completely rebalance and allow people to feel whole again and lighter when they leave. And then the second session, we get into the real nitty-gritty processes and allow them to make changes at an unconscious level, which is the most powerful way to do it. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's where the good stuff starts to happen.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I guess why I was sharing my experience and now hearing yours is like when I started off to say, like, I want to hear Amy's version of Reiki. And it's like evident, like, okay, you've got a set of scales, I'm working with color, like everybody's working in a different way. And that's where when people sort of look towards Reiki, they have to actually trust their intuition on the Reiki practitioner, that there's intuitively that trust, that bond. You might be nervous about it, like getting on a roller coaster, but like if you're somebody who, yeah, wants that balance in life, then then there'd be that magnetic pull to receive Reiki from Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something else there that you were saying there about the clients, whether they're spiritually inclined or not. I was curious about that. Like people who are a little bit skeptical, do you find that the Reiki still works?
Oh, 100%. So it doesn't yeah, you don't have to, believe in reading tarot cards, or that spirits come through, or that, your soul has many different lives, or whatever that may be, in order to receive the energetic benefits. So
Yeah.
I've just found from the amount of clients that I have currently facilitated and held the space for, whether they be spiritually inclined or not, they always receive messages or start to think about, back in the day when I was in primary school, or this really strange song came on and that used to be my favorite when I was a kid and I haven't heard that in so long. Do you think that's linked to our session? Or, so subtle signs come through from the universe to my clients, and then when I check in with them, they're like, actually, yes, this has happened. And I'm like, this is why, because we're going to work on this next time and we're going to clear that, and then and you're able to move forward and no longer hold those things that don't serve you. So yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, wow. And the insight for me and the downloads that's coming in is like you're a facilitator of their spiritual awakening. People who are searching for the truth about themselves, because they've been taking on all of them, wearing the masks, doing all of the shoulds, being how people pleasing, how everybody wants them to be, and then it's actually like, no, let's come back to the truth of you. So it's not this like massive fireworks show. It's actually quite subtle and like, oh wow, that makes me feel good, and there's that invitation to do more of that. So
Yeah,
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 there's a whole
yeah.
spiritual awakening, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that just sort of is like a benefit, like a ripple effect, really, which is really cool because, when you start to open yourself up to that beautiful world of knowing that the universe is abundant, and when they start to give you signs, everything in life starts to flow a little bit easier, which is really cool because you just start to really trust your gut. And then when you're connecting back to yourself and being your authentic self again, yeah, life starts to flow easier, and those opportunities that you would have currently missed or not, put your hands up for, or whatever that may be, and you've got that confidence again because you have started to do this energetic work and allowed yourself to make those changes. So really, it only takes one bold move to say, yep, I'm going to book that in, even though I feel really uncomfortable, or really nervous, or whatever that may be. But I
Yeah,
think if you feel that pull, just know that you're feeling that pull for a certain reason.
yeah,
Um, it's funny because I think back to my childhood, and my nan is a psychic and a palm reader, and I've grown up in that world where nan would have all her crystals, and I always said to her, like, no, because I have quite a logical mind. And I was like, no, nan, like, what do you mean? You're only telling me that because you're my nana and like you know me and you love me and all these things. And then one day I was about 9 or 10 and I was really unwell and I didn't know why. And my nan said, you've got a kidney infection, go to the doctor. And it was after she looked at my hand and I was like, no, I don't. And sure enough, I did. And I said, okay, cool. My nana's amazing. I believe in everything now, and that's how I opened my eyes. And it was that one subtle sort of thing that my nana said to me. So really, if you allow yourself to be open and receive the message, once you get the proof, because in this world we always want proof. Once you receive the proof, whether that be feeling the tingles or the heat or feeling light, or seeing those visuals, it's almost like you can't stop. You just want to know more, know more, know more. So it's really cool.
so if you say though, like you had that logical mind, like nah, stop it. But it sounds like for a while there, you've been trying on your human self, doing the shoulds, and then like the spirit world, your intuition said enough of the shoulds, enough of the doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. To it's sort of like, no, shift Amy back to her intuitive path, her divine blueprint. And it's like, yep, here I am with the bells and whistles. Let's do it all.
Yeah, literally. And it's really hard, right? Because we don't live in a world where um this sort of work is well known or chat about much, or it definitely has a stigma. And I think it isn't as much as it used to be, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, but it's still there. And it can be quite scary to not go with the pact and do what everyone else, your age does. Like, um, yeah, it can be quite scary to step outside of your comfort zone and go a different direction. But then when you start to feel and see the benefits, you're like, what took me so long? Who cares what people think? Because they'll get to their realization when they're ready. And it's just great that I was able to get there when I did. So yeah, I'm really glad.
But you're right though, with it's sort of there is the death of the old identity. There's a collapse of the old ways, and that's not always comfortable. But then when you eventually do pivot and move through that, I don't know what you call it, but like the four walls of how you've been, that familiarity, like once you move through it, there are some awesome people on the other side ready to receive. And have the like-minded conversations where I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't see you until I stepped into this space.
Yes, so true, so true. Like I always felt like I never found like my people in Australia. And I
Yeah.
have really beautiful friendships that I've made, but I still felt like I think maybe because I was in a job that I really didn't enjoy, but I felt like I should be doing that because it was quite a good position. And um I always hid my, my angel cards and my tarot cards. I didn't really have my crystals on show. And then when I started to open myself up to this beautiful world of spirituality and knowing that the world truly is abundant and it gives you those signs, and the people that have crossed my path all feel and think the same way, which is really, really awesome. Um, but if I never allowed myself to book that Reiki healing and sort of
Yeah.
be woke up by my Reiki lady, I would have just continued to turn to my cards when I felt a little bit lost, but I never would have shared them with anyone else. So I feel really privileged that I get to give people maybe the hope or the guidance that they need in a time of unknown or uncertainty.
Yeah.
And that really lights me up. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful that I get to do this. Yeah.
And it says like, because I know in my own experience, I used to feel like the spirit, this is how I perceived it, the spiritual people, the introverts, the empaths, they're all hidden in their caves. And I'm like, come out and play.
Yeah, I
And
get
it just
that.
and so like with your group work that you do with Reiki, it's sort of like, yeah, come out and play. And it sounds like, they're getting the sparkle and some aha moments too from not just you, Amy, but the community, the group that everybody's heart is longing for.
Yeah, 100%. Holding my group has actually been so incredible because the women are able to they're able to bounce off each other. I don't know if that's the right sort
Yeah.
of way to describe it, but I felt one of my ladies went to the beach and wrote how she was releasing everything, and that was a download that came through from the healing, and I sort of guided her in the direction to get some air, get some sea air, and hear the water. And she went there and she put herself first, and I was so proud of her because it's not easy to do, especially when you got young kids and a house to run and all those other things that are on your to-do list. um and then she sent a picture into our group chat, and another one of the ladies was like, oh my God, I love that you've done this. I feel the same way. I'm gonna try and do the same, or at least set out 10 minutes to myself. And I'm just sitting here being like, this is awesome, like that ripple effect of
Yeah.
yeah, like-minded women wanting to chat to each other and be in that safe space where they feel heard and seen and valued. And then, we're really building on their intuitive side as well with pulling cards, and I'm just having conversations about, when you feel a certain way, what are you doing? How do you react? How can you deepen that connection further? And they're really practical questions that you're able to work through. So it's not
Yeah.
just, oh, just open yourself up and see the signs. It's like, yeah, cool. Like, how do I do that? So it's really awesome that I'm able to facilitate that group and give them the opportunity to start to really connect with themselves again.
Oh, how magical is that? That one person, as you were saying earlier, one decision, that's all it takes. And she took on that divine guidance from you in the sense of going to the beach, and then that ripple effect. And imagine that even the people in the group just seeing that photo, maybe even just pausing for that moment, going, oh yeah, I can feel that. Like maybe some people can't get to the beach, but it's like I feel that. And it's just that healing in that reminder, somebody else is going through what you're going through, the awakening. And as you're saying there, the practical things that you can do to move through it, like you're saying, like that cloud is like, okay, what's going on? Let it shift, new perspective. Um,
Yeah.
but before we go into more of the group work, I want to check in. So when you were working with the group, were you doing group Reiki as well with them?
Yeah, definitely. So how I've facilitated this group is I connect into their energetic field one-on-one, and they receive healing distantly, and then I send them downloads via voice notes, and I've got a picture of a body, and I X all the things that were worked through and the things that were blocked, and they get a scanned version of that. And then so I do that to each person in the group, and then I also hold a group healing, because they're all in this group because they're connected in some way. So we have collective downloads also, and they resonate completely with everyone, because maybe they're for this group, they're all here because they need to put themselves first. Really, really busy moms, a really busy self-employed super ambitious woman as well. So it's about putting themselves first. So the group healing gives them that collective energy, and allows them to hear the downloads of they're not alone. Everyone in that group is feeling maybe the same ways, and those blocks are showing up in the same way. So that's how the healing works. And then we focus on an energy center each week, and I have really practical tools and tips and exercises that you can do to connect into that energy center and to balance it again and keep it in balance. So it's not just needing me, and you're able to actually keep that in balance, which I find really important, because I want to give, well, I'm really passionate that I want people to know that they are able to have the agency over their body and continue to really connect to themselves every single day, so they don't need to just book in a session and get to breaking point and then feel good. I want them to be able to feel good every single day. So I call it building a self-regulating toolbox. That's what I tend to call it. I don't know, it's pretty weird thing to do, but
is there an acronym for that? Like the regulated self-healing toolbox, RSH?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a long thing to call, but yeah, basically I just sort of add to their toolbox every week of certain exercises or reminders, affirmations, journal prompts that are actually effective, that get to the core and the root of the cause. So yeah, it's really cool. It's been awesome to hold that group. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, there's a lot in that toolbox. So
Yeah.
when you think about the toolbox that you've been adding to yourself, you've done NLP with me, certified life coach, NLP practitioner, Ericksonian hypnotherapist, like all of those yummy tools in the toolkit. For anybody who's not familiar with NLP, stands for neuro-linguistic programming, which is a fancy way of recognizing the communication that you've got within yourself will give you the external experience. And so while programming sounds like a heavy duty word, NLP was created back in the 70s when computers were, the modern new thing. So it really needs to be updated to NLA in the sense of like an app. If you've got an app running that's holding back the phone, holding back the system, NLP gives you the tools to, shift that app or bring in something faster. So I feel like I'm
to update
going up another track.
Like when your phone needs an update.
And so for me, like NLP, if I've experienced something where like the whole throat thing, will go back to that, NLP helps you identify where you've been holding yourself back so that you can now make the proactive changes on the self-regulation to keep yourself moving forward. For me, it's the ultimate manifesting modality, because my intuition knows that I want to speak confidently. So therefore, let's clear the things that are holding me back. Enough about me. Amy, how has NLP helped you with your business and adding those tools to your toolkit?
Oh, where do I start? It has helped me immensely. It truly has changed the way that I show up. It's helped me understand me better, and then how I can help others as well, which is really cool. It's easy to say, just think good things, and good things will come to you, or just visualize what you want and let it come in. It's like, yeah, but until you start to rewire, those negative patterns in your mind, or those unhelpful thoughts, you're not going to be able to make that change at an unconscious level. And unfortunately, you'll continue to go back to the old way of thinking. And
Yeah.
it's just such a powerful modality to allow you to help people make changes really quickly and changes that actually last, which again is something that is just amazing, right? Because you don't want to hold the space for someone and give them false hope. You want to hold the space for someone,
Yeah.
and NLP allows you to hold that space and give them productive changes within the hour. And
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome, right? And
Yeah,
obviously
because
if
it's
you're holding on to, oh, sorry.
no, you're okay.
Yeah, no, obviously if you're holding on to limiting beliefs from when you might have been 8 or 9, 1 hour isn't going to peel back all of those layers, but it will help you to make a productive change on an unconscious level. And then you start to feel those ripple effects instantly. And then we can start to really get into the juiciness within a few sessions. And then you're like, hang on a minute, I'm a new person now. It's really cool.
That's the powerful shift I saw in you, Amy, because I think originally we met when Claire, can you teach me tarot? Like, no, let me teach you something better.
Yeah, literally. We actually we did a past life together. My
Yeah.
Shell, she introduced me to you, and the past life was absolutely spectacular. And then I was like, oh, what more can I do? I need more of Claire in my life. And then I saw the tarot and I was like, I read tarot. I absolutely love using my cards. I want more information. And then you were like, hang on a minute, let me give you something better.
Yeah. And it was just this the pivot in the sense of like what you're talking about there when you peel back, people are operating through the lens in which they're accustomed, which is what familiar. And so when you shift that lens, which as you're saying, like it doesn't actually take long to make that shift that lens in which they're seeing the world, in which they're operating, they will come away with incredible shifts. And you're 100% right that, you can't solve 20, 30 years worth of problems in 1 hour, but you definitely can make a really big shift in like the dominoes fall, right? And that's what happened for you. You had NLP and then the dominoes fell and it's like, woohoo, like, well, how could this get better?
100%. Yeah, I feel like, when you start to do this work on yourself, you might think that your problem is lack of confidence. And we'll go in and, do a process through NLP, and we'll peel back all of those limiting beliefs and we'll get you feeling confident. But in the process, we've also seen that it actually wasn't the lack of confidence what that was the root cause. It may have been, the fear of other people and what they think of you, or it's not safe to say what you think. And that's when the extra layers or the pieces of the puzzle start to come together, and you're able to continue to really get to the root cause and help you feel amazing in a really short amount of time, which is awesome.
Yay. I know, because NLP, people are like, wait, who's NLP for? Like who's Reiki for? Who's NLP for? And when you think about us being humans out in the real world, we've got to communicate. And so NLP ultimately helps you communicate better to yourself so you get better results on the outside world. So NLP traditionally can be taught to salespeople, politicians, police people, ambulance people, teachers, absolutely anybody, because we're all communicating and want to enhance our communication to feel understood. But at the same time, for me anyway, Amy, I love to work with wellness professionals where we get to dive in on the spirituality and the past lives and the metaphysical. That's a passion for me. And so seeing you combine your Reiki with it, I just get full body tingles. It's like, yeah, that ripple effect going out to people all over the world. They don't have to be in your company. Like Amy's Reiki is accessible remotely. And for me, I know eventually let Amy talk, but knowing how the energy works within like your electromagnetic field, how we're all intuitively connected, uh, off topic a little bit, but you think about the animal world. The animals are never there when there's a big flood or a big, or rarely are animals suffering when there's a big flood, a big tsunami, a big fire. Animals intuitively know the echo of the energy and Mother Nature. and they get out when there's danger. And it's probably a really tacky, bad metaphor, but the energy works the same within people that they, as Amy's Irish, Amy's family's in Ireland, and she's got this intuitive connection to people on the other side of the world. And it's like, how does that work? And it's like, get out of your 3D mind on how that works, come back into the heart space and feel that love and that connection for that person that, you know, they're probably at work or on the other side of the world. The connection's there. I'm
Yeah,
talking over you. Do you want to share anything on that, Amy?
yeah, for sure. Um, I completely understand why people may be skeptical, because of course it is really hard to get your head around, right? Like, how can you make me feel really amazing, and how do I feel heat and tingles when you're like, when, you know, I'm in Ireland and you're in Australia, or I'm at work in Melbourne and you're, you know, doing your healing on me.
Yeah, I'm
And
in Mount Dandenong.
until,
You're an hour away.
yeah, literally, and until you allow yourself to experience it, I don't think you're ever, you know, truly going to see how magical it really is. But yeah, basically, distant healing just allows me to connect into your energetic field. It's like turning that light switch on again. And it's as reliable as the law of physics, which, when you think about that, you know, people don't see energy, but they know that it's there. So you may not see that Reiki healing, but you can feel it. So you know that it's there. And the biggest thing is building that rapport with my clients. So it means that I'm able to intuitively connect to them. And that's when I pull in the tarot cards, and I pull in the spirit guides, and I give that whole experience so that we're able to really start almost like we're in person, but we don't have to be, which is really, really cool. I've got a lot of clients in Ireland, and the changes that they've been able to feel and make in such a short amount of time through a phone, you know, via video call, is just, it is mind boggling. Like, you know, unless you actually experience it, you're still going to think like, yeah, but how? But that is how. It's because I'm able to connect into your energetic field. And it's almost, yeah, just imagine me turning a light switch on. You see the bulb, I turn my light switch on, which is the Reiki energy, and I get that bulb on, and I'm into your energetic field, which is really cool.
It's that, but it is something to keep in mind. It is a two-way street, right? Like you can't be sitting at a cafe looking at that angry looking person and send them Reiki without permission. You can send it, but you may find it bounce back at you. So that there definitely needs to be a level of permission, and it is a two-way agreement that they also have a job to do in the sense of dropping their walls and barriers down, being willing and ready to receive, so that the shift is not just, it's awesome. That metaphor is awesome. Like, you switch the light on, and then there's an invitation for them to come to the party and play. And
Yeah.
while you've got the energy running, like the electricity running, they've also got to be responsible to, yeah, to be willing for that energy to move through them. Because I know for myself with teenage daughters, is like, wow, I'm going to send you Reiki down the hallway. And if they don't want to receive it, they've got free will. And they're like, oh. But of course, that's when I need coaching on my own stuff. Or like, why aren't they receiving? But
Yeah, it's cool you say that, because before each session, I send my clients basically a how to prepare yourself for your healing. And that's all about creating their space, that it's comfortable, relaxing, and welcoming environment. So turning not turning a candle on, lighting a candle. You can turn it on if it's a fake one. Yeah, lighting a candle. Maybe you're in your trackies and your comfy jumper. Um, and allowing yourself to really get comfortable in your own space. And before we start the healing, we focus on breathing. We do some breathing exercises, and I send them Reiki music, which basically just helps your mind and your body to get into that zone.
yeah,
And then it's really important for me to remind people that it's okay if thoughts come into your mind. That is normal. You can acknowledge them and just let them pass like a cloud in the sky. So you know, when you try to relax, it's when all of the things that are, you know, that need to be done,
Yeah.
or the things that you're worrying about come in really, really quick.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no, I can't relax. And then you're tensing up really, really quick. So just allowing my clients and giving them that reminder that it's okay that things come into your mind. Just let them pass, you know, and if they
Yeah.
come back again, say, hey, don't want you right now, let them pass. And that really just lets my client find themselves in that comfortable state. And the fact that it's in their own space, and this is why I actually love distant healing so much, because this work can be quite confronting. You know, you have to be quite vulnerable to open up and answer that questionnaire and allow yourself to receive this energy that you haven't, you know, felt before. And I think it's just really, really beautiful if you're able to receive that in your own space, in your trackies with a candle on, you know, you've just had a cup of tea, you're not jumping in the car, you're not rushing in traffic. And that's why I find the distant healing is just such a beautiful way to experience it. It's really lovely.
Yeah. I've got a wicked sense of humor, and clients know that about me. And I often make a joke that clients will take me to bed on the first date. Really, they will. They'll be in bed in their jammies, and that's what I want. So
I
I'm
need
here
to
in my
use that
studio.
one. I've been in many beds this week, actually. Last week, it's only Tuesday, but yeah, I need to use that one.
Yeah, so like if I'm doing facilitating past life regression, I want you to be your comfy zone. I don't want you to feel the discomfort in being somewhere unfamiliar. So like, yeah, you set yourself up and then headphones in, and but I'm curious, Amy, success stories. Like, is there any there that you can share with us that are, obviously maintaining their confidentiality, but like they came to you with this and then they came away with that? Like anything there that you can
Yeah,
share with us?
yeah. There's probably two or three that come to mind instantly. The first one is my client in Ireland, and she's a really busy mom, two kids, both under three, and you know, just really feeling lost, constantly anxious, on the go, crazy mind, can't calm it. And then, you know, you actually get into bed and you're not sleeping because all those things are running through your mind. So the fact that I've been able to help her to find that state of calm and work through those limiting beliefs of, I can't put myself first, I have to do everything else for other
Yeah.
people, and just helping her realize that when her cup is full, she's actually a better mom. She can show up to her kids in a way that she wants. We've done some really cool exercises, like anchoring calmness into a ring of hers, and we've been able to balance her energy centers and give her that power in her voice again. So she's not allowing those, I call it a gremlin, like not allowing that gremlin in her mind to tell her she's not good enough and that she's not a good mom because she feels really overworked and busy. And the message that I received from her was that her whole life has just felt like it's running smoothly again, and that she's starting to feel more like her, which I think is really cool. And she said, oh, I didn't even have to use my ring this week. That's how cool, like that's how awesome this week is going. So the fact that maybe she was using her ring a lot to find that calmness, and now we've even brought her into that state of calm as you know,
Mm.
that first sort of feeling that she doesn't even have to go to the ring. And that is just awesome because she's able to show up and be the mom that she wants. And that just gives me full body tingles knowing that I was able to help her in that way.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that would have an impact on her children. And then the way that they show up for school and so on and so forth, like that. You're doing amazing there, Amy. That the mum
Oh, thank
feeling strong
you.
like that lighthouse, and then the kids can go out into the world and still know that like mum's got it together. She's feeling good. Like the ripple effects are incredible.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the next one that kind of came to mind straight away was a client of mine who suffers really bad from anxiety and panic attacks. And you know, when I first actually started with her, she was off work because she just didn't feel able to leave her room. And again, this is holding that really vulnerable space and creating that safe space for her. And through doing timeline, I was able to get her from that anxiety level at a 10, which is like, you know, not being able to leave the house and not going to work. And we were able to get that down to a 3, which is absolutely, you know, spectacular for her. And I got a message the next day that she was at work. And just to think that I'm able to help someone feel confident in themselves again and know that the anxiety isn't, you know, ruling their life, that they're actually taking ownership of themselves and their life again. It's so cool. Yeah.
Yay! Oh, yeah, that must feel really rewarding for you, for them. Just, yeah, thank goodness you saw that Instagram post and made this pivot, Amy.
I know. I'm forever grateful that I took the leap and just did it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, magical, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so tell me, Amy, you know that everyone's hearing these incredible success stories. How can they find you? It's like good old Instagram. Is that
Yeah.
where they find you?
Yeah, Instagram is probably best, and it's authentically.you underscore underscore. So that's me. And my business name is Authentically You Coaching and Healing.
Yay! So I'll definitely put all of those links in the show notes below, but just wanted to make sure, like hearing it from you, yes, I'm correct. It's authentically you.
Yeah, definitely. There's a website on there on the Instagram bio, so that's where you can see all the services, and you can also book in a free complimentary sort of get to know each other call if you feel like you've got further questions or you'd love to know how, you know, the session is facilitated, or if I can actually help you. I'm more than happy to build that rapport and put your mind at ease. So yeah, you can book that on the website as well.
Yay! All the things are there, ready to make it easy to make that one decision.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All
Completely
you got
see
to
a
do is
different
just
reality.
believe in yourself.
Oh, yay. Amy, before we wrap things up, is there anything else there that you wanted to share? Because I know that like it's been such an exciting talk, and like we could talk for hours, right? Like
You could.
how do you do anxiety, you know, doing all of the things. But is there anything else there
Yeah.
that you wanted to share?
I think we've covered a lot, but the one thing, maybe if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, nah, still not for me, or, you know, I don't know if I'm ready. I think if you felt the pull to listen, maybe it's your time to put yourself first, whether that be through me or through another practitioner. That's completely fine. I just know that you don't have to feel the way that you do, and there is a way, and don't allow yourself to reach breaking point. Like I did. So yeah, we can get you feeling good again before you reach that really dark hole.
Yay. And if you are in that dark hole, we certainly know how to switch that light on and make things so much easier.
Yes, we do, very quickly.
So a big, big thank you, Amy, for your time and this amazing conversation. I'm hoping that it's helped at least just one person, and that ripple effect, that laughter, that light just shines. It's absolutely been incredible. Amy has generously said that, you know, we can all receive a little quick pocket of Reiki. So is there anything that we need to do, Amy, to prepare before we wrap things up in the sense of like this 5-minute Reiki kind of remote experience? Anything we need to do? Anything we need to know?
I probably just when I start, I'm going to put a little bit of Reiki music on so you can get yourself into that zone. I'll invite you to take a deep breath in and out. And if you're not driving, you can close your eyes or not walking. And if you are, you can keep your eyes open. That's completely fine. And again, if those thoughts come into mind, just acknowledge them and let them pass like that cloud. And that's all that's needed for me to yeah, get the healing started.
All right, well, I'll push pause and we'll get in the zone. I'll see you in a bit, Amy.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to get started now. I invite you to take a big deep breath in and out. Knowing that if any thoughts cross your mind, just acknowledge them and yeah, let them pass like that cloud in the sky. Open yourself up to receiving this beautiful Reiki energy, knowing that this time is just for you. Taking that big deep breath in. And bringing yourself back to the room. I hope you enjoyed.
Wow. Oh, there goes the throat. Wow, thank you, Amy. Like there was just felt like streams of energy, streams of light was just coming in, coming in, coming in. And like, no, don't pull me out. This is great.
I'm glad.
Oh,
I'm glad. I could see you and you were sort of like swaying a bit. And I was like, oh no, I hope I haven't like pushed you over.
oh no, yeah, look, the thing with Reiki, right? Don't, maybe I should have sat down, but
Look, who knows?
lesson learned. Cool. Oh
Well,
wow,
thank you
Amy.
so much.
Yeah, this has been an incredible way to spend some time with you and to experience all that you do. And yeah, I'm going to say a big thank you to the listeners, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, Amy.
Definitely.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having me. Bye.